How is it there are two people who laugh together, love together, sometimes end up all alone? Tell me, how is it? And how is it that two people who cry together maybe die together, sometimes end up all alone? Oh, isn't it a shame? Hey, hey, hey. Sometimes such a love, it could never be. Isn't it a shame? We had to cry. Hey, peoples. Hi, Lady T8 1981. Hi, Sandra. Angelita. Angelita sang. That's Patty, honey. She said, isn't it a shame? Now, I'm kind of that mind. Hi, Alfreda Gross, Crystal F. Okay, so here's the story. Now, we know we have our own little world here in the beef sector, right? So we talk about what's here in the beef sector. I know some people do not want people to mention their name or say their name or do anything, right? But we have to accept that if you're in this sector, then we're going to have to talk about what's going on in the sector. Now, I believe that Rick has made 4 or 5 videos on the subject, and Rita has made 4 or 5 videos. I think she made 3 today, including yesterday, maybe 5 videos, and they are really going at it, right? And they're the Baddest roasters. I mean, as a matter of fact, when Rita first came here to the YouTube, Sean Bradley had started this contest of, this is where her name comes from, I believe, of who would be the baddest roaster, right? Now, I had just went off and knocked Jay Wilson's head off. So I thought, well, obviously I'm the baddest roaster. I got all the biggest numbers I've ever had, right? But no, guess who won? Rita. Rita won that first contest for who's the baddest roaster. And she's been using that name since then. Anyway, and we all know Rick Reed has a fire mouth. They are both in the same league. They are equally matched, right? But the danger is when you know people, when you have friendship, a relationship with them, your beefs are going to be more vicious, more nasty, more to the bone. Why? Because you know each other. You know things about each other. You're going to go into your arsenal and you're going to put out everything you know about the person, right? That's what reading is. And it can be so horrible. But those two are going at it. I would pray that they would somehow or other come through this one and be friends again. I'm not like some people on here hollering about, ain't no friends on YouTube. They get all excited and giddy when people fall out. I don't like that. I would rather see people get along. I didn't like it when Sean and Caldwell fell out. I didn't like that. I said they were friends. They were having a good time. That is more entertaining to me, to see people actually having successful relationships. But we know what this thing gives. So it doesn't excite me for them to break up. Let's hope it's break up to make up. That's all we do. First you love me, then you hate me. That's a game. Anyway, so they're both fun. I like both of those guys. I do. I do hope that they will somehow get through this mess. You have to be careful when you're going at these people, because some things can't be taken back, honey. And sometimes a simple argument could end your relationships, right? I celebrate people being together. My sister been with her husband since their junior year in high school. right? 40 something years. That's wonderful. It's beautiful. But friendships are the same. You know, some friend. I hate to see people break up because they really did like each other. No matter what they say now, when they're angry, they really did like each other. And it's always nice to have somebody who has your back, right? And they indeed had each other's back. So it's an awful thing. I know when I go to church, and they many times they'll have some of these old grandpas and things. They'll have these seniors stand up, and they've been together for 60 years. Their entire lives they've been together. I celebrate that. I think it's a wonderful thing. Mm-hmm. You didn't raise 10 children. I think it's a wonderful thing. Stay together. Let's stay together. Cause you make me feel. How y'all doing today? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Rick don't want his name used and all that, but we're going to talk about whatever's over here. I ain't going to talk negative about either one of them. I think they're both decent people. Yes, they do fight hard. They go hard. You know, I can be known to go kind of hard myself. I don't think I'm in the league with these two. These two shit. But I became aware of Rita. Rita had gotten into it with somebody, and somebody was called F words, faggots, and all this kind of stuff. And then she actually made a video apologizing to me. Apologizing to me for using that kind of language and all that. I said, well, that's a decent woman. I didn't need the apology. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I know people talk, but she came out of her way to do that. And she was a total stranger. I didn't know her, but she apologized to Uncle Tim. That was so sweet. And then as far as Rick goes, of course, we're entertained by both of them. Both of them have pretty much left the beef sector for whatever their reasons are. Right. They've left and come back, and Rick just comes in whenever it's convenient for him, kind of thing. But they've both not been here on a regular basis like they were at one point. Correct. I respect Rick Reed because when I wrote one of my books, Murder in the Beef Sector, the first one in the series, these people coming on here, 5 Babe and QB took my book and pretended to read it. They read it in 20 minutes. They read it live online. They said, oh, this character don't go with that character. I said, well, girl, how can you skip 3 chapters and know who the fuck you're talking about? You don't even know the storyline, right? So they were being unfair to me and me. I was going at it with 5 Babe at that time. The boy took, QB took my book out in the alley and burned it. I said, well, okay, it's your $10, nigga, do whatever you want to do. But my point is, Rick was the only one. Him and what's the other lady? Deanna's friend. Him and not boss lady. I forget. Something ghetto, right? I don't know. Deanna's friend. They're the only ones that gave me a real review. I actually read the book, right? And Rick was a total stranger, but he came on and gave an honest opinion about the book. I appreciated that, right? People will say, listen, you may not remember what people have said to you, but you'll always remember how they made you feel, right? So I'm cool with both of those people, and I hope they actually do get together. I'm not sitting around just so I can say that no friends on YouTube, so you can confirm what my little thing is. What do you call something like that when you repeat shit over and over and over again, right? So that all proves that. See what I mean? See what I said? I said. I told them. I told them. Ain't no friends on YouTube. I told them. You see what happened? I told you. Ain't no friends on YouTube. That does not excite me. You can have friends anywhere. I still believe that. Don't be discouraged, people. Yes, people do fall out, right? We know people, and even in their real life, you with somebody long enough, they're going to get on your nerves, girl. And y'all going to fall out. You might have a problem, whatever. That don't mean you don't love the person. And that doesn't mean that you will not make up. Because basically, you like these people. That's why you were friends with them. Right? That's why your relationship got to where it was. Anyway, what y'all think? Y'all scared to talk to? Y'all ain't got to be scared. I'm not going into what they said to each other, you know. But yeah, it's getting pretty wild over there. Sure enough, I think it's about between them. It's about, I don't know, 8 or 9 videos been made. So if you just like to hear a good roast or whatever, I guess that would be something to watch. I don't know if it can be mended at this point, but from what I understand, they were going at it like that from the very beginning, and then they became friends. So let's hope. Let's hope the people get along, honey. Sometimes you just can't. You say so many things that you can't fix it on YouTube or off of YouTube. How y'all doing? Hi, Alfreda Gross. I just speak. Suki, Sandra. Away from the beef. It's hard to stay completely away from. Well, they like the beef sector. I mean, we all like it. Not everybody likes to come on here and argue every day, though. You might be fascinated with the beefing and all that. It takes a lot of energy, So you might like that to do that, but it's hard to do that every single day. Me, myself, I personally have been looking for stories outside of YouTube just to have some commentary as well. And of course, there are the favorites. That's ongoing. There was never a friendship there, however. I don't like to see friends fighting. I think when you bring the children involved, it's unforgivable for me. Yeah. No, they brought everything involved, honey. Anything you can think of. But they're in the same league, right? So if you know you go hard like that, then perhaps you could accept that other people go hard like that as well. That's why you got along, because you had something in common in your persona. So, if I go off and call people faggots and all this kind of stuff, and if somebody doesn't, I have some compassion. I say, well, I know what it's like when you're in that, when you're in these one of these horrible beefs, honey. I don't even know what their beef is about. I think it's the thing about this video stuff that, you say one thing, you talk too fast, you say something, and it travels so fast because people will email you and tell you, here's the timestamp of when they disrespected you and all this kind of stuff. And then it's there, so you can go look it up and all that kind of stuff. It's not hearsay. You can see the videos, right? And one thing piles up on another thing. My kids are off limits, even in their grown age, off limits. Leave my children alone, honey. Don't mess with my children. Y'all like the mama bear. Mama bear kill your ass mess with the baby cubs. It's unfortunate that, I don't know. The more you know about a person, the more likely you are to use something that will hurt them. The whole point is to hurt the other person. If you are a hardhead, you ain't gonna get to, and you're not gonna get all that hurt. It's just a challenge. Now let me see what I can say about you, kind of things. Alfreda Gross said she agrees. Yes, and all the mothers said, yes, leave my kids alone, nigga. They both got children, though. What do y'all think about the situation? Have y'all watched it? I mean, it's kind of hard to look away from this stuff, right? You can say, well, that's their business. I'm not going to look at it. Of course you're going to look at it, Johnny. That's what you're here for. It'll pass. Hi, Miss Tracy. How you doing, Miss Tracy? There's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Yeah, they've been hot for the last couple of days, honey. Not only those two, but what was it? Brian, and you had Food Junkie, and you had started off with Caldwell, and of course Sean Bradley. They are all knocking the rock'em sock'em robots, honey. A lot going on in these streets, baby. Tracy, you make up with your boyfriend? It sounds like the last time I watched, you guys were okay. You got to make decisions based on how you feel, not how other people feel. Right. They would send you email, text message. They're going to get the message to you, baby. Yes, I love him. All right. That's good, honey. He's always good. I love to see people holding hands on the street. All these young people, it's great to watch. Of course, in San Francisco, they got all kinds of different kind of people, right? You have transgenders holding hands, walking down the street, gay people, men, women, straights. I mean, still majority straight people, but I think it's part of being, young. It's a beautiful thing. And like I said, it's great to see old people with long-term friendships. My mother, she met her best friend. They were 13 years old, as I remember the story. They are now in their 80s, and they've still been her best friend all her whole life. My mama fell out with everybody except her. Of course, at 80, a lot of people have passed on too. Mm-hmm. What else going on? Anything else going on, peoples? Is there anything else going on in them streets? Let me do my perimeter check. I got to do an early perimeter check now. Okay. So certain people don't want their names. They're names that must not be spoken, honey. Bless their hearts. Donald Trump Jr. is on the stand. Let me see what else I got. They done scared the man who was doing all the reviews in Atlanta. What's his name? Keith something. Keith Lee. I think his name is Keith Lee. He is a food critic. He's if I got the name right, is his name Keith Lee? Some youngster. He I don't know how young he is. He's in his late 20s, early 30s. Anyway, he's made a career out of doing TikTok reviews of food. He's a food critic. He's a self-made food critic. So he goes all over the place reviewing primarily kitchens, restaurants of African Americans, right? Now, he's done this all over the country. I don't know if he's been in other countries, but he's got millions of followers on TikTok. So he's respected in the food industry. I admire all these guys who have somehow or other come up with something different, a way to make money. I think that guy who does the little dog commercials, he's brilliant. He's a brilliant man. They carved out a niche for themselves. But this guy has carved out a niche for himself as a food critic. So he did it all the different cities, at least in the United States. I don't know if he traveled abroad or not. And he's known for giving an honest review, right? An honest review. And then he got his ass all the way to Atlanta, Georgia. There was an incident at Candy's restaurant. Candy from the Real Housewives. I forgot what they called it. Old ladies something. Anyway, he went there. The line was an hour and a half wait to get in. And then when he came to the line, he said, "No, I don't want to go into your restaurant because all these people have been waiting. I want to see how you treat regular people. I don't like no special dishes. Don't give me the best meat. I don't want any of that." Because I guess he's known among restaurateurs. And he says that he goes to restaurants, old lady gang. Okay, that's the restaurant. He says he goes and he's invited to go to these restaurants, right? Now, I don't know where his money comes from, but he's big on TikTok. Anyway, Candy came on. She made a video. All right. And she was explaining how why they didn't take, he made a couple of comments. Once the long wait was too long. And he also said that they didn't do takeout on the weekend. And a lot of people were pissed off because they don't do takeout orders on the weekend. I completely and totally understand it, because when I go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's the only fast food they allow in this neighborhood. I live in a pretty good neighborhood, and they have decided that they didn't want any chains in the neighborhood. So the only one on the very outskirts is Kentucky Fried Chicken. When I go in there and I make my order, and then I got to wait while they fill all of these orders to go. Oh, they were here first. They were here. I said, well, goddamn, I'm standing here right now. Right. So Miss Candy was saying that's the reason that they don't do to-go orders. Obviously, they have a thriving business. If they got you got to wait an hour and a half to sit down. They might need to expand, honey. I wouldn't wait that long. So I don't know what the answer is. Anyway, she made a whole video about it. She's inviting him to come back, maybe a better time, a different time. They must like it. If she got lines outside for an hour and a half, girl, I'm gonna wait 10 minutes to sit down anyway. So the guy, of course, he's online. Everything's online. This can be a dangerous tool. He got to Atlanta, and now the people are threatening him, and they're trying to kick his ass, I guess, for his reviews. They don't like his reviews. Oh, you're attacking black people and all that. Nobody likes bad reviews, honey. Believe me. All the man said, I'll give you an honest review, right? And apparently these people don't want no damn honest review. They want you to, well, if you're going to do all that, you got to pay him under the TV. I think you have to pay for these startling 5-star reviews, honey, right? Anyway, he's decided that he is not going to review restaurants in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, that doesn't look good for us, black people. That a man can go everywhere in the country, including Chicago, and be just fine. He said he never had no problem. But now y'all want to kill the brother. He said, hey, he has a family. They done threatened his family and everything. I think his name is Keith Lee. I don't know if y'all been following that story, but some of y'all are from Kenneth. It's Keith Lee. That's right. Okay. Weekends are very busy. Okay. The food is good, though. Food is good. It's got to be. My nephew, I got a nephew who lives here, right? He should be a food critic. He is very picky. But he won't even go into a restaurant that doesn't have a line. You got to be somebody, got to be full, honey. So apparently they're doing well. I mean, it's not like he's going to make or break their business, right? Everybody on TikTok doesn't live in Atlanta, Georgia. He said, I'll do it somewhere else. These Negroes are crazy. Mm-hmm. I loved Atlanta when I was there. I mean, I was very impressed by Atlanta, Georgia. When Bradley took us there, they say the first time I've been on a plane, although I've been on maybe 30 or 40 flights, but they say it's my only time. It is my only time going to the South, right? So I hadn't seen Atlanta, Georgia. But when I went there, I mean, obviously they were in a very nice neighborhood. But even going into town, everything was new. Everything was nice. It seemed like everybody that worked there was black, although it's not the truth, but it did seem like there's an awful lot of black people there in the airport and all through every business we went to. I was impressed. This is nice. The suburbs were beautiful. They had land, all that greenery. Mm-hmm. But I guess they're picky about their restaurants. I don't know. I might go back to Atlanta. It might be a fun trip. I usually don't go. I don't like travel, so we'll see. Learning how to accept. Oh, we were talking about construct. Thank you, Klingon. Klingon returns. Learning how to accept constructive criticism helps us to grow and learn. Correct. My experience with those with reviews, though, I don't give a damn what you say as long as it's honest. Many times when I read a lot of books, and many times they'll go on there because they don't like me for whatever reason. They'll go on there to be nasty, to leave a bad review on my book, a book that they did not read. It's very obvious by what they say that they did not read it, right? So yeah, if it's honest criticism, I mean, you still ain't gonna like it. You don't love it. No singer loves people trashing their stuff. Think about how all these celebrities feel, right? You got a whole army of people on here criticizing everything they do up until the time they go into the bathroom. Correct? But they got to function. The show must go on, honey. The show must go on, right? You create for yourself. Painters have to do it. Anybody who does anything really has to deal with critics. Some people are critics because they're vicious people. They love shitting on everybody, right? So, who are some great critics? I don't remember. Y'all see what? Oh shit! There's a movie called All About Eve. It starred Betty Davis and what's the other one? Joan Crawford. Betty Davis and Joan Crawford made a movie called All About Eve, and it's also about this critic named Addison DeWitt. Correct. It was an excellent movie. My favorite movie when I was a child, other than Imitation of Life. Anyway, what else bring them up? I don't know. Primarily because they were showing this character, Addison DeWitt, who could make or break a Broadway show. I don't think a dude has that much power. Obviously, the old lady gang, they doing just fine if people got to wait in line that long. Okay, you didn't stay in Atlanta, Uncle Tim. Your trip to Georgia. I didn't stay in Atlanta. I didn't stay in Atlanta, Uncle Tim, during your trip to Georgia. I did stay in Atlanta. Where was that thing filmed at? Was that, I mean, I don't know the neighborhoods. It was a very good neighborhood. Was that Buckhead? Where that actual house was, right? But when I arrived there, Justin, I stayed in an Airbnb in Atlanta with Sean Bradley. We had the whole house. That was in Atlanta. And then we filmed, I guess, in another neighborhood there. I think it was called Buckhead. After it was over, I was still left in town for another day. And so I went around the city with Ty. And the guy who was doing the makeup and hair there, he lived in a high rise there. And we had several hours before my flight. So I spent a lot of time there at his apartment as well. So yeah, I saw some Atlanta. Many times people, they'll talk about your city. They only tell you the bad stuff because the bad stuff is what ends up in the news, right? But just like they do Oakland, you would never guess that Oakland was primarily an upscale neighborhood, an upscale city, because what gets reported is the robberies and murders and shit that happens at the low end. We used to call them the low bottoms. So they're having problems with crime and all that. But if you go to Oakland, if you have a house, good chance your house is up in the hills. You don't experience all that. They talk shit. They're talking so much shit about San Francisco right now. My goodness. I say you would think it's not happening in their town as well. Drugs and homelessness and all the challenges of living in the big city. Now we got new challenges because downtown people are moving out. Well, we have to get over the idea that downtown is supposed to be the hub. Their current thing is to try to make, since there's less foot traffic, a lot of stores have closed and left downtown area. That don't mean they left San Francisco. We do have 800,000 people. They still got to eat somewhere. They still got to buy stuff somewhere. But the internet hurts retail, and also in the downtown area, so many people left when during COVID. That thing's got an ongoing effect. So many people left downtown area that 30% of the building is empty. That means that there's 30% less foot traffic, right? A lot of businesses depend on foot traffic. Starbucks and all those kind of places, they depend on foot traffic. A lot of the stores and all that. So they have left. I don't know what I was saying there. I'm just saying that people will talk a lot of bad shit about places, and many times they tell you about the worst parts of it. The very worst. Hell, the neighborhood that house was we were in, those were mansions. Folk living good. Now I heard that they make a less money there. I don't know, but the cost of living is so much lower. There are no biggest. What? Justin, you being misbehaving. There are no big houses in Atlanta. Well, how did we have a crew of 30 people inside a house, child? Yeah, but I saw nothing but big houses. Look at Walter Lee Hampton House. He's outside of Atlanta, but basically in that area. He had big ass, what is it, 10 bedrooms or something? That whole neighborhood, if you have a 10-bedroom house, hell, that means the whole neighborhood is 8, 9, 10 bedrooms. I don't know if you're being mischievous or not, Justin. me see what else y'all say. The foot is good. Okay. So you've been to the old lady gang. Let me see. I won't lie. So anyway, the boy left. He stopped reviewing. He has his family there to consider. They threatening his family and all this kind of shit. I don't know if it's the customers or actually the people who he's giving unfavorable reviews to. You got to accept that. Sometimes you wish you could get them taken down, but when they go up on Amazon, they're there, you know. All kinds of problems with this internet stuff. Beautiful homes in Atlanta, honey. They're a lot more beautiful than here. They talk about all the Victorians here, honey. Them buildings is 200 years old. And when you go inside, unless they have a lot of money to remodel them, they look like they're 200 years old. Yeah, you live much better in the suburbs, honey. I mean, I don't like the suburbs myself as a single man. I've always lived right at the core of the city. I live right in the heart of San Francisco, the same way in LA, and even a short time in New York. But you're going to live a whole lot better to get property in the suburbs. A lot more space. A lot of people, they come here, they work, they make their money. And then when it's time for them to start a family, they move to the suburbs. Makes sense. A lot of them leaving now, although California ain't going to hurt. We're going to always be a lot of people here. Primarily because of the weather. Decatur, Georgia since 1984. So I know Atlanta, the suburb. You have lived in Decatur. Now, what is Decatur? Is that where we were? Decatur. Is that a good neighborhood? Mm-hmm. Atlanta has big houses, mansions, and old refurbished plantations. That's what I saw, honey. And a lot of greenery, too. People had property. Here, the damn house is built right on the street. If they're lucky, they got a walkway up from the street, right? It's not uncommon for big cities. Your neighbors, the neighbor is too close. The neighbors are too close. Honey, they're right on top of each other. There's no space you can walk between the houses, right? In general, there's very little backyard. There is no front yard. You know, it's just a choice of how you want to live. I ran into a video yesterday. What was that video, child? I should play it. Where apparently the people in San Antonio, a whole lot of them are underwater, Jay Wilson. Your house, they say they pay, there's 200,000-300,000, but the 200,000 or 300,000, they're underwater. They have so much empty property there, Jay Wilson. And the market is so bad right now that you've probably lost money in these last 8 years. I'm not making it up. I'm not making. No, I'm gonna try to find it because I'm slow. Same thing here. Same thing in a lot of places. But he's over there talking about how he gonna sell it. He gonna sell it. I'm gonna get the equity. I'm gonna get the girl. Like, you a mind reader? You been living in houses all your life? You don't know nothing about no damn real estate, child. So just for your information, Jay Wilson, y'all can pass it along. You are more than likely underwater. In other words, your house is worth less than what you paid for it. So all this talk about how you're gonna be rich, you can't put a nail in the wall and all that shit, girl. If you want to have a house, just live in the house. Call it home. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. Okay, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Winter make the tall trees. Mm-hmm. Baby, if I had any money and I was going to buy something, particularly in this place, but any place, I would want myself a loft, a big loft, big empty loft. I could do what I want to do. I'd probably make a master bedroom, but that would be the only room. right? Just a big for one person. It would be great. They have some great city lofts here. I mean, of course, here everything's over $1 million, so it ain't gonna happen. But that's what would be my dream. Big empty loft. But you can fix your place up wherever you live, honey. Hell, I had my jail cell looking fabulous with minimal materials. Definitely beautiful homes, areas that don't cost like Cali or New York City. Yeah. I mean, Walter Hampton keeps talking about how out of control things are, though, but they're damn near half of what it costs here. And you don't get as much house, right? And a lot of these houses here are I think it's called tenants in common, TI, is it tenants in common? So you look at a house, you say, oh, that house is at $1.5 million, right? I'm gonna buy that house. No. The 1.5 million is for one floor, a flat in the house. You very rarely, unless you're somebody who's really doing something, have the whole house, the whole building. Usually you buy a flat, even if it's only 3 flats going up, right? Why would they sell the whole thing for 1.5 and they can sell each floor for 1.5 and get $5 million? That's how it is. So, of course, I'm not in any of those markets, child. I know I've been blessed. When you've been blessed, it's like heaven. Heaven. All my family lives in big houses in Indianapolis, but that wasn't a lifestyle for me. Big, beautiful houses. The mortgage is less than this apartment. The mortgage is less than some studio apartments. Mm-hmm. Hi, OG Beauty. I'm supposed to remind y'all, don't forget the Cash App. I gotta do it. I know it's painful, baby. It's painful. Don't forget the Cash App. Okay, we're done with that. You cannot even get a studio apartment for under $1,000. Oh, honey. You cannot even get a studio apartment for under $1,000 a month, even in the hood. 1,000 ain't gonna do nothing, Justin. Put in your search engine, San Francisco, how much you want to spend. They ask you how much you want to spend. You put 1,000 in there, you get no response at all. You would have to start at 2,000 for a studio. I'm not lying. It's very easy to test. You can do it to any city. When I considered moving to New York City, do the same thing, And you'll find that even though it seems like a joke to most people, it is the reality. It is, a lot of these converted apartments, a little small kitchen thing. I doubt that I'll ever move from here. This is what I need. But since I decorate, I can make anything comfortable. Really, I don't need extra places that I don't even go into. I'm going to have my annual dinner again, closed down for 2 years. Next month. No, this month. Thanksgiving dinner. So I'll have about 8 people. Sometimes people bring other people, but around 8 people for Thanksgiving dinner. Ooh, I would like to live in a brownstone. What, in New York? Or you have to come. They've had to come in at 5 or 6 million. Excuse me, thousands. $5 or $6 million. Yeah, New York has moved to number 1 again. It goes back and forth. Some years, San Francisco is the most expensive place, and some years is New York City. Right. But right now, New York is beating us by quite a bit. You're referring to Georgia, not California? Oh, okay. In Georgia, well, that's a good deal. People would love to get $1,000 here. Everybody I know is in below market rate apartments, right? Some of you have to apply for, and they have raffles, and you have to. but the rent is about $1,000, $1,200 for a studio apartment. But that is for the below market rate apartment. So I mean, here you're definitely at around 3,000. 1 bedroom apartment is $3,300 is the average, right? Now, of course, I don't have to pay any of that kind of stuff. I'm an old man, and my rent is almost all paid for, really. There'll be some content for these queens, honey. They're gonna tell me, oh, you're below market rate. You ain't paying the bills. You ain't government assistance. Girl, I wouldn't give a goddamn if it was pigeon assistance, bitch. Right? Honey, who the hell don't want their rent paid? That, and then they give you a little change on the side. Then you can hustle up you some more money, girl, and you can write books and do what you want to do. Maybe some people can't seem to accept when they're jealous. Now, Jay Wilson is a jealous bitch. Y'all say, well, why would he be jealous of you? He got a big hail. He got the hail. Girl, if you are a jealous-hearted person, you are jealous of everything, right? If a man walks into the room and he's got on nicer tennis shoes than you, you are jealous of that. Why? Because you're a jealous bitch. I'm sorry. That's what it is. Rico pulled that long slong out. He hated Rico because Rico, why God? Why? What did I do? Was it my parents who sinned? Why am I cursed with the little fella? You know, if you're jealous of people, you're just jealous of everything, honey. Mm-hmm. They accuse me. Oh, you jealous of Jay Wilson? Girl, I ain't jealous of goddamn Jay Wilson. I don't want to live out in the middle of the suburbs, girl, in Texas. It's a whole different personality, child. I don't need no 6 jobs just to live, honey. He thinks somebody else desires that. People go for what they desire, honey. Right? I'm fine. At least I ain't got to run from the police. Y'all don't know. You don't know what I've been through. Let me share my story with you. All the things. What's that guy's name? I love that song. Don't know. I don't know. I like it. It's a spiritual song. Gospel singer. Yeah, Georgia's probably more expensive than a lot of places. I'm sure it's more expensive than San Antonio. If you want to go live in San Antonio, honey. I mean, it depends on what your needs are and what your desires are, because all these damn places look the same. When I'm driving in the suburbs, hell, I could be in Indiana because they all have the same chain food. They almost have the same strip malls, right? I'm not a big fan of. Look at that face. Look over there. No. Look over there. See it? How do you? God damn it! What do you do? How can I make this arm? Look at that face. You ding dong. Come in over here in the ding dong. Get it bum over here. He was looking at his dad. You see him? Come here, baby. No, daddy, I don't want to. Hi, baby. Look at my beautiful baby. Look how fast that damn hair grows. Hi, Spleeny. What you doing? What? Daddy, I don't like this, daddy. I don't like this in front of people. What are you doing? Say hello to people. Say hello. Why were you looking at your dad? What did you want from him? I don't want nothing, daddy. Got the rubs, sugar. A wonderful dog. Girl, they say another bad news, Jay Wilson. Because I do watch all these news clips. I love the way news is today. You can just go ahead and see what you want to see. Apparently, Airbnb is on the verge of collapse, Jay Wilson. Right? Looks like a lot of people, there's so many people on the market that the kind of Airbnb you running with a room in the upstairs in the back, they say that's pretty much over with. They said people are sick of it. They'd rather be in a hotel, people tearing their properties up. So You're underwater in San Antonio. You can look it up, check it out. You're underwater. Your house is worth less than you paid for it. It's the national thing, but San Antonio is one of the 10 that they pointed out. If I would it did this before, I would have had it right on top, right? Let me see if I can get it real quick. I don't think so because I type with one finger. San Antonio, Spurs Heights, San Antonio, and Tone. No, put San Antonio. It's San Antonio. No offense, Creasy. This is all about you. San Antonio. I know I'm gonna be able to do this. San Antonio. Antonio. Nio. San Antonio. Let's put underwater. Underwater. Now, if I can't get it on this first try, I'm gonna stop because I don't want to hold y'all up. San Antonio underwater. Let's see. I was watching a beautiful underwater tunnel. No, that's San Antonio underwater tunnel. Girl, I don't want that. Okay, I knew it. I can't do it. Look it up. All that bragging, girl. He know ain't nobody coming signing up for the air. Y'all ever hear him talking about the Airbnb no more? I had the Airbnb. I used to Uber. They're jealous of me. I'm a hardworking man. A hardworking man. So they call Uber. You drive your car over, pick them up, and you drop them off, and that's hard work. It requires no brain power. It requires no creativity. It requires no physical work. So how you are such a hardworking man, Jay Wilson? All this little penny ass shit you do, girl, ain't no hardworking girl. And a lot of the girls, frankly, are wondering how you can make 4-5 videos a day. He said to me yesterday was the push. It's the push. It's the end of the month. And why does he feel necessary? Oh, this is gonna be a record-breaking month. This is gonna be record-breaking. Oh, these accents are looking good. Girl, why would that be interesting to anybody, Jay Wilson? You said last month was a record-breaking month. And the month before that, you said that was a record-breaking month. Nigga, damn, you breaking records every month? Why? Because you own 5 times a day. We all understand you're supposed to get a little change for it, girl. But we all know what you get. So why lie? You're so Donald Trump. That's why he's in trouble now. The narcissistic personality disorder. That's why this boy, Donald Trump, is in trouble right now for inflating and all this hype about his damn properties, how much they're worth, girl. She making buildings that are, I don't know, 11,000 square feet. He makes them 33,000 square feet, girl. And they're charging him for that, Jay Wilson, for all the lies. It is the lies. Don't you understand? I'm with Candy. The lies, the lies, the lies. Shut up, girl. I don't want to hear about how much money you make on goddamn AdSense. She can't resist bragging. I don't tell nothing about my business on YouTube. I don't tell nothing. Girl, you tell more business on YouTube than anybody I know. Right? You don't tell about your fucked up sex life. But you can't wait to come on here and brag about all your accomplishment, even though you don't do nothing and you don't even have a job. So a lot of the children are saying, that's Jay Wilson. It's strange that you would be the first one to be talking about how ain't nobody working and how got a job, and you're the one that can't keep a job. You are the one. You're the primary one that cannot keep a job, Miss Thing. You got to work 6 different little pissant jobs, girl, to try to make it. Trying to make it, no way to win. Down on my luck. So y'all spread the news, Jay Wilson. Jay Wilson We think you're underwater in that house. No, I got the hail. Girl, if I had to share a bedroom with 9 niggas, I think I'd be happy about a house too. I mean, what a way to live, child. Jay Wilson, was that trailer leaning over to the left? When everybody go to bed, they go to bed on this side, they're leaning over to the right. Oh, it was great. It was fabulous. No free lunches, no government assistance, Jay Wilson, you keep bragging about all these brothers and shit, right? And they are, what, 20 years older than you, girl? How many families did your father actually have? Were you all raised with all those people? When somebody confronts you about the trailer life, you always say, oh, it was only 4 of us. It was only 4 of us, right? So were these other people, was that with another woman? You say you never tell none of your business, but all you do is run your mouth about your business trying to impress somebody. And nobody's impressed with you, Jay Wilson, right? Mm-hmm. I know off topic, uncle, but how did they get your dentures to look so natural? Oh, Jay Wilson said I'm supposed to go to Mexico get all new teeth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they look natural. Fucked up on the bottom, lovely on the top. I ain't got no complaints, honey. Y'all gonna be 65 one of these days too. Of course, doing crystal meth, you're gonna lose them in your 30s. I lost mine in my 30s, honey. I went to the prison dentist because one was bothering me, right? And the dentist said, oh, this is like picking corn. And just took all my goddamn grill out, child. And then I got released. I got paroled. The date came around before the dentures were ready. So I was out there for, I think, 7 months with no grill. But of course, nobody gives a fuck in that world. They just cared you got anything. There was no stuff. I didn't suffer in my love life. Put it like that. Mm-hmm. Yep, the cities are regulating Airbnb rentals. The neighbors get tired of it. Yeah, they don't like all these people coming and going in there. And a lot of times they rent the house and then they party in it, right? And they tear it up, all kinds of reasons. Plus, for here, it takes properties that will be for rent. Since people need housing, and housing is such a big ongoing issue here. When you have all these Airbnbs, they take properties that would have been rentals, long-term rentals, homes for people, and now they're basically hotel rooms. So they're all the cities are fighting against Airbnb. Well, I read earlier today that they're having a really hard time. They had the best of times, and these now are the worst of times for Airbnb. You got to remember now, this is not just local. It's all over the world. So they grew extremely fast. But basically, they don't do anything. What the hell they do? They just assign the room because the transaction is between the owner and the person. They're just like managers. Anyway, so I think that that Airbnb thing might be coming to a close. I don't know. Maybe they'll still survive at some way. Like, remember AOL was the big thing in computers? I still have my email is still AOL. I'm too lazy to change it. It changed to something else, AIM. Anyway, that company was huge at one point. Remember, they had the disc all over the city, all this mail they would send out advertising AOL, and it was huge. Then all the competitors came, and now AOL is still there. Like I said, my account's still AOL, but it ain't nothing like what it was. So we'll see with the Airbnb. I think it's still a great idea if you're renting a whole house. If you got your family is 8 people, 10 people, you paying for 10 hotel rooms, and let's just say moderate hotels. That's very expensive, honey. So that's how Airbnb got so popular. You can rent a whole house. But these people like Jay Wilson renting rooms and shit, that's done. That's done. Plus, in San Antonio, nobody wants to go all the way to San Antonio, Texas, and live way out an hour and a half in the suburbs, girl, in a room in the back on the second floor. No, they might as well get a hotel room in the city. I have no teeth due to a condition and medication. Did you have a picture that you showed the dentist when you had all those teeth? Wait a minute. No, I didn't tell him shit. That was a prison doctor. I've had several sets since then, right? The reason why the bottom is not perfect is because it's just a partial, right? Partial means I have real teeth on the bottom, and the top they can do that. You ain't got no teeth, Justin. I always think of you as a young person. I think your thumbnail is deceiving. So you said at one point that you're not a young person at all, right? Yeah, I am. Both are gone. No, I am is definitely not gone. That's my email address. Mm-hmm. You're 43. You got to look like this young bear in here in the thumbnail. Uh-huh. He's camera shy. You camera shy? Oh, my dog. My dog is camera shy. Yeah, he don't do nothing in front of the camera. But then when I get off the camera, he be flipping all on the back. And when I come home, especially, child, crawling all over me and stuff. He don't understand what this camera stuff is all about, honey. Y'all getting ready for Thanksgiving? I hope you saved yourself $30, $40 to send Jay Wilson. Remember, y'all got to pay for his dinner. Y'all got to pay for macaroni cheese. You taking donations for macaroni cheese, right? So the people, they don't know how much somebody else's cash that be, right? So the macaroni cheese costs, I don't know, $5 to make. So he goes and he collects $150 for the mac and cheese. Then he has a different collection for the meat. I gotta have turkey. You gotta have turkey. If you want to give, you don't have to. You don't have to. Shameless. No self-respect, honey. You trailer trash. That's trailer trash. Begging all of that. I can't deal with these begging ass niggas. Stop it. Now we're gonna make it. We talked about him for a year, so let's see if he comes out with it again, girl. Now he always talking about his commercials. Girl, I could have did that with one click. Put all of them damn commercials. He said he lets the people put them in, right? That means they run a commercial every 3 minutes. I can imagine sitting there looking at Jay Wilson, and you got to listen to every 3 minutes you got another commercial. Speaks to the character of the person. Mm-hmm. Yes, and you're a young man compared to us, honey. Uh-huh. Yeah, Alfreda Gross, you better at least go over there with at least 50. It's very lucrative. It's very lucrative. Have some self-respect, nigga. Begging all these single women. You got a lot of nerve, boy. That don't mean y'all can't use my Cash App, though. They tell me I got to start saying something about it, honey. Let me see what else is going on here. So let's hope that those people, Rita and Rick, they don't look like it, but at some point they'll make up and be friends again. Maybe you just recognize your boundaries. The things they're saying, I mean, it's not new, but it still hurts. And then you come out harder, then harder and harder, right? So we don't want them to destroy each other. Hi, Soul Sister #1 show. It's always good to see you. Justin said, yeah. Oh, look at that. Justin changed his picture. Is that you? Justin, you a white man? I ain't got no problem with it. They know, honey. Is that the real Justin? So you can put any picture in there. You look like you got on a UPS outfit or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, be proud of yourself and your youth, honey. I am not white. I am not white. I am not white. Okay, we understand we got all kind of shades of people. I'm just talking about the thumbnail. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you play nice almost all the time, most of the time. Sometimes you be in the mood. Mm-hmm. That's a Georgia Bulldog hat and gray sweater. You're a light skinned brother. Okay. Yeah, I'm a flatfoot brother. I'm half Italian, American, half black. Okay. Ooh, Italian stallion. Mm. That's something I've never struggled with, though. I've never struggled with race issue. I never been no angry black man, all that kind of stuff. I like all kind of people. My friends, my people that I actually hang out with, my church friends and all that kind of stuff. They look like the United Nations. That's what kind of town this is. That's why I like to be here. I mean, I like all kinds of different people. Mhm. Everybody calls you John B. Don't give them too much information now, Justin. They call you John B. Mm-hmm. Look, the ladies are noticing you. The ladies are noticing you, Justin. Uh-huh. Handsome young man, says Sandra. Mm-hmm. My eyes ain't good enough to see the details. You in your 40s, that's a good age to be. I admire people still out there in the world. You know, out there in the world making your dreams come true, baby. Mm-hmm. You think that reference? Wait a minute. What reference? Okay. Everybody calls me John B. I don't know who John B is. That's me. Okay. I think the reference went over to him. What's the reference? What did I miss? Mm-hmm. Thank you, soul sister. You jump right in. That sound is like music to your ears, honey. You could be eating dinner. You hear that sound. Oh, excuse me. Wait a minute. wait a minute, girl. That Cash App sound. It says, whoosh. Music to my ears. Mm-hmm. John B is a singer. Oh, so you're saying John B is a light-skinned singer that you remind people of? Okay. I say I don't even know who John B is. Okay. Ask them who John B is. That's his name, John B? Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Let me see. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me do a real quick perimeter check. Make sure there's no breaking news, honey. Sometimes there be breaking news. I don't see nothing going on. Okay. So just personally, I'm hoping those guys will at least in their beef. You know, it's not my business. None of it is, but I'm hoping for the best for them. Y'all have a wonderful. What's the day? Wednesday. Oh, it's the first. I'll go pay some bills, honey. It's the first of the month, right? Uh-huh. I got to go take care of a little business, baby. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. Soul Sister #1 show. Later.